Drake has now dropped a response track to Kendrick, Future, Metro Boomin, Rick Ross, and more. The track serves as a diss track with Drake responding to all of the various beefs, with the main being against Future and Kendrick. However, new rappers from Rick Ross and even A$AP Rocky are now also taking their chance at Drake, seeing as everybody in the industry is. But the response track Push-Ups released by Drake, the lyrics of the song are on another level that these guys can't even get to. As on Drake's song Push-Ups, aka Drop and Give Me 50, Drake opens the song by rapping the lyrics. I can never be no one's #1 fan, your first #1, I had to put it in your hands. Now this is a complete response to Future, as just 4 years ago, Drake hopped on the track titled Life is Good with Future, gathering over 2 billion views on YouTube, and this would remain Future's biggest song of all time, with it also being his first ever #1 song in the world. In the intro track of his album We Don't Trust You, Future actually raps the lyrics, you're a #1 fan dog, sneak diss and I don't understand dog, pillow talking acting like a fed dog, I don't need another fake friend dog. Now Drake knew that he had to respond to that one particular lyric from Future, as Drake literally gave Future his #1 hit, so how could Drake be a #1 fan of Future? Now what many rap fans didn't realize is that Joe Budden actually called out this beef before it even started, targeting the Life is Good track, saying as ever since it was released, we never heard it again.
And back to my Future, Metro Boomin, Drake tension. You don't think it's weird that nothing ever happened with that hit smash song that Future and Drake made with Tim's?
What do you mean? Nothing
Wait
happened?
for you.
It was a hit.
When you say,
it was a hit.
When you say what?
No, it was a hit. It was a smash.
So what you mean? Nothing happened with it.
Never heard it again.
Then later in the song, Drake would end up responding to one of Kendrick Lamar's disses, as Kendrick dropped a line in the song titled Like That, where he would rap the lyrics, think I won't drop the location, I still got it, F the big three, it's just big me, I'm really like that, and your best work is a light pack. As that line would be a direct message to Drake and J. Cole, as the big three that Kendrick is referring to is himself, J. Cole, and Drake. They were labeled as the big three in the early 2010s, but Drake would want to make sure to let Kendrick Lamar know what the current reality of the hip-hop game is, where in his song Push-Ups, Drake would rap the lyrics, you ain't in no big three, SZA got you wiped down, Travis got you wiped down, and Savage got you wiped down, basically letting Kendrick know that he is not a part of any big three, and all of the newer artists in the game such as SZA, Travis Scott, and 21 Savage have completely outsold Kendrick Lamar in the last 6 years, as all of the newer artists in the game are wiping out Kendrick Lamar's name on the charts. This then leads into the biggest sneak diss of the entire song, and it's actually the title of Drake's response track. A viral tweet would share, when Drake said drop and give me 50, he was not talking about push-ups. 50% of Kendrick's earnings went to Anthony Top Dog with the TDE label contract that he is signed to. Drake is literally telling Kendrick to drop music and give him 50%. Now this is a lot bigger of a deal than many people believe. In the opinions about anybody inside of the music industry, you are not a #1 artist in the game if you are still signed to a 50-50 contract where you are giving 50% of your earnings to the record companies. Drake is literally laughing and mocking Kendrick about the fact that he is a veteran in the music industry, but he is still technically signed to a rookie contract. No big artists in the game are signed to these type of deals anymore. However, Drake's next diss would end up taking over the entire internet. In the track Push-Ups, Drake raps the lyrics, I be with some bodyguards like Whitney. Now if you are unaware, this is a theory that tweets, that Whitney bar is crazy. Kendrick Lamar's fiance cheated on him with a bodyguard while he was doing push-ups in the park. Again, this is not fully confirmed, but this has many believing that this is not only way too far for a diss track, but if this is true, Kendrick is gonna be needing a good diss to come back at Drake with. This would then lead into one of the funniest disses on the entire track, and it goes towards Metro Boomin. There isn't much that you can diss a producer for in the music industry, so Drake would keep it simple when going at Metro, where he would rap the lyrics, Metro shut up and go make some drums boy. This line was literally out of nowhere. Drake was regularly rapping his lyrics ongoing against Future and all the other artists, and then out of nowhere he would diss Metro so simply, and it took over the entire internet. But it's what Drake would say next, which surprised everyone, and it is a diss towards J. Cole. Now, last week, J. Cole released a tape titled Might Delete Later. On his tape, he had a track titled 7-Minute Drill. This is a diss track response to Kendrick Lamar, Future, and Metro. But right before the midnight release of Future and Metro's second album titled We Still Don't Trust You, J. Cole ended up removing the diss track from his tape. A report goes and reads, J. Cole has officially removed his Kendrick Lamar diss track 7-Minute Drill from streaming services. Now, this left many fans confused as to why he deleted it, but the answer was very clear at midnight. This is then when the We Still Don't Trust You album officially dropped, and there was a J. Cole feature on the album, making millions believe that J. Cole may have switched sides.
First, on Thursday night, fans were shocked to hear a J. Cole feature on the song Red Leather off Future and Metro Boomin's newest album, We Still Don't Trust You. Based on some of the lyrics, it initially seemed like J. Cole had recorded this verse after he apologized to Kendrick Lamar, but many fans pointed to this video of J. Cole saying he was in the studio with Metro Boomin months ago, and then today, Rob Markman said he confirmed with the source that the verse was recorded before Like That ever dropped. But regardless of when he recorded the verse, he still had to clear it and approve it being on the album. So after being on tour with Drake just weeks ago and then last weekend saying he didn't want to be involved in any beef, he went and did a feature on a verse with people he knew would be dissing Drake. And then we get to this afternoon where he finally removed 7-Minute Drill off streaming only after the first week sales became official.
Now, Drake would end up responding to J. Cole in the Push-Ups diss track, where he would say the lyrics, I don't care what Cole thinks, that stuff was weak as F, champagne trippin', he is not easing up. It is still unknown if Drake and J. Cole are still cool with each other, but it's pretty obvious that Drake may feel some type of way against J. Cole right now, as it seems like the entire music industry is against Drake, and you would think that J. Cole would have his back. Also featured on the newest album, though, is A$AP Rocky. A tweet goes and states, A$AP appears to diss Drake on Metro and Future's new album, where A$AP Rocky raps the lyrics, Flacco hit it first, son, still don't trust you, always us, never them. He also says, heard you dropped your latest stuff, funny how it came and went, which is a very surprising verse coming from A$AP Rocky, somebody who hasn't dropped music in over 6 years now, which is why it also surprised many people that A$AP would even say such a thing. But this is then when Drake would start reacting to all of the other rappers that are dissing him. It all begins with a tweet that shares, Rick Ross and Nav have unfollowed Drake on Insta after Metro and Future dissed Drake. This left Drake making his first reaction of many, where Drake says, I ain't picking up, I'm in Turk's Lil Baby. This is a clear sneak diss towards Nav's unfollow on Instagram, as those are actually Nav's lyrics in one of his songs. As Drake's next reply would then be to the Kendrick Lamar verse, where he says, and I quote, F sneak dissin', first person, I hope they come in with 3 switches, where Kendrick Lamar is referencing the big 3, but also discussing Drake and J. Cole's hit track titled First Person S.
One of the biggest being the line, sneak dissin', first person I hope they came with 3 switches. So what exactly did Drake and Cole say about Kendrick that was a sneak diss? On first person, J. Cole has a bar where he says, everybody steppers, well F it, then everybody breakfast, and I'm about to clear up my plate. Steppers here is obviously a reference to Kendrick's most recent album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and clearing my plate likely means winning the competition for best rapper over Kendrick. And Drake in his first verse asks the question who the GOAT rapper is, and he uses a clever double entendre to say that only him and J. Cole are in the GOAT conversation, meaning Kendrick is not. J. Cole also probably has the most notable line in first person where he says, love when they argue the hardest MC, is it K. Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big 3 like we started a league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali.
Where Drake would then post on his Instagram story, somebody that is mining for diamonds, where if they just keep on mining, they might end up getting a response, but Drake isn't giving Kendrick the attention that he wants. It's clear that Kendrick is a little bit jealous that he wasn't offered to be on First Person S. However, it wasn't until this one tweet would go viral, which would then turn everything into crazy mode. It states, y'all didn't catch all the disses at Drake because y'all were too worried about Kendrick. Here's another diss at Drake from Metro and Future, which seems to reference 21 Savage, saying that Future is bigger than Drake, and that no one listens to him in the streets. Also, before the diss on the outro, Future switches up his flow with no auto-tune, basically saying that I can get up here and do what you do, but I could really rap. Now, I can't play the outro of the song due to copyright, but it's an audio track from a movie, where the main character is telling another another character that no one is listening to a certain music artist in the hood, even though they are the biggest artists in the industry. This is exactly what Drake's new best friend 21 Savage said about Drake in saying that Future is bigger than him.
Niggas don't be listening to Drake like that. Well, if I wasn't a rapper, I don't feel like I still would listen to Drake for real. It's just I'm a rapper, so I understand the work he put in now, how hard he go.
Wait,
like when you ain't no rapper, all them statistics don't mean shit. A regular street don't give a about how many times you went #1, like how many white people listen to your. They don't even think that the farthest they think is the club. Who's selling this club out? That's who they think is the biggest. Like in Atlanta, it's a lot of who you really can't tell them Future ain't bigger than Drake.
I would say it's cap. Really?
On God, I used to think that Drake ain't really no big